Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is part 32, I believe. Yes, this is part 32 of our Let's Get Cooking series. It could be 33, not sure. Where we are making cooking game mechanics. Last time we imported all our assets, we made our blueprints ready for our ketchup bottle. So now we're going to go ahead and continue coding. So first place we need to be is in our BP condiments parent. So make sure you're in the parent class, BPP condiments. And we're going to go straight into the event graph. And we're going to straight away do the event. No, we're not. I lied to you. We're going to make a custom event. Let's give us a little bit. We'll make custom event. Right click, add a custom event. There are no inputs, no outputs. We're going to call this add condiment. Sorry, I forgot to zoom in for you guys. Add condiment there. Okay. And we need to have so we're going to make a new, because I don't think you can use that. We're going to make a new variable. We're going to call this start rotation. It's of a type rotator, the light purple one. And we're going to make another variable. I'm going to call this relative rotation. That is of type vector. And because the condiment is going to be the last thing that we're going to add, I'm going to want to add in a test ability for this one because it's quite a long process to get to that. You've got to cook your burger, make your burger. It's not until the second and last step of making the burger that you can actually put the condiment on. So let's make something so we can bypass the steps. We're going to make a test variable. I'm just going to call it test. This is of type Boolean. So that's the variables we need for right now. We're going to grab our start rod like that, connect it to here. We're going to simply say get actor rotation. And we're going to set that. And we're going to get our player character. And we're going to say get hit actor. That should be, oh, sorry, not get, maybe it's give hit actor message. Make sure you choose the message. Connect that to there. From the hit actor, we can come out here and we're going to say give ingredients data asset, and we're going to join that just like that. Where we're going to take it with the ingredients. I'll say Okay, we've got a bit of a discrepancy here. So we need to change our, oh, maybe because I've got the wrong one. Hang on. Give ingredients data asset message. Ah, yeah, that's the correct one. Now we've got the correct one. It does actually work. Okay. Nearly made an error there. So we're going to start using our test variable here. So we're going to get our test variable. We're going to do a Billy branch. We're going to come out of here, do a reroute node. Another one, we're going to say is valid. We want the one with the question mark. And that comes off to true. So it comes off to false. Like so. Then we are going to get our kitchen manager. We're going to give prep table message. And that's coming off the valid. Like so. And then we're going to say, from the pip table, we're going to say attach item, which we don't appear to have. So that's in BPI appliances. So let's add that. Blueprints, interfaces, BPP appliances. So we don't have that. Let's say, make a new function, attach item. We can put that under the ingredients tab. Excuse me. And we are going to have an input. And it's going to be item in hand. And it's of type BPP base. Which we save that. We go back to our BPP condiments. Come out of our pip table. We say attach item message. It's a message. And this one we're going to pass self. Because we have an attachment point for our condiments, so we're going to have to deal with that in a moment. And that's as far as we can go on that. If we are testing it, we don't need to attach the we don't need to check the validity of the ingredient, so we can bypass that. Like so. So that's as far as we can go in that function for a minute. We will have to go back and deal with another part for that. So we are going to make 2 timelines. Let's find some space. So we're going to right click, add timeline. Make sure you just get the add timeline, not the add timeline component. I'm going to call this one PL underscore tilt. Now we've made that, we can go back and finish this off. We're going to say, so look in your components, it'll be in your component section of your variables. Should be components. We're dragging our TL tilt, and we're going to say, play from start. Okay. Play from start, like so. Join that to there. So make sure you file and save as you go along. So we'll deal with the timeline in a moment. So let's go ahead and make a next one. Next one we get from our interface, our interact, and it's event left click. So double click on that to get that out. And this has a few things that we need. So we need to drag in our pack contents quantity. There's no point doing this if your bottle is empty. I'm going to say, is this greater than 0? Add a branch. If it's empty, we're going to add a comment. Just going to copy and paste what we've written. Written in here. Let's spell it right. Bottle is empty. So it throw it in the bin, get a new bottle. Okay, so the message to shelves. Drag in our test. We do another branch. Okay. We're going to drag this down a little bit so we can put our kitchen manager here. We're going to say give current prep stage message. Turn this off to false, because it's off to test. Okay. And we're going to say, is this equal? Make sure you choose equal enum to, we don't have it in here at the moment, so we need to get our prep stages enum. Enums prep stages here. And the prep stage is add condiment. So add a new one. Add condiment. I meant, not E meant. Yeah, that's correct. So add condiment. Save that. Back to our BPP condiments. We choose that from the list. And take that to our branch. That's all right. Okay. So let's copy our text message. This has a message on the false. I've just put can't add condiment yet. Okay. So then we're going to come out here and just say give ingredient data asset mesh. No, sorry, wrong one. Give ingredient or current stage message, this one here. Okay. The target is our kitchen manager. Now you can drag it in another one, or you can do what you like. Do some rewrap notes. So you could drag in another one. Wires crossing, that's fine. We want to get our something here. Get DA bulk items in here. So I've just named it differently in my other project that confused me a bit. We get ingredient. Pack. And we're going to get our ingredient type, like so. I'm going to say, is this equal? Make sure you equal. Make sure you use equal enum. Do this. Do another branch. Be on your keyboard and click to get branch, like so. And if this is true, we say add condiment, like so. Which I've spelled incorrectly again, but never mind. And we're going to go back here, we're going to get another chef's comment off the false. We're going to say wrong condiment. So we're checking whether we have the right condiment. Okay. So that's that. Now from the test back here, we're going to literally bypass all of this. So I just have some revamp nodes. Go all the way to add condiment. Okay, we can bypass all of the checks. All that. So that's that function done. We've done our add condiment. We're just left with our timeline. So let's go back and deal with the first timeline we made, which is here. Let's double click it. And We're going to add a float track. First, we're going to set our time to 1.5. We're going to add a track, add float track, we're going to call it alpha. We're going to add 2 points, so hold down the shift and click. 1, 2. First one is 0, 0. Second one is 1.5 and 1. Hit your little arrows here, just to smooth it out a little bit. I'm going to set those to auto. You can close that template. Back to our event graph. So from the update, we're going to grab a node, we're going to say set actor rotation, like so. Target is self, because we're rotating ourselves. We're going to come off of here, we're going to say alert, rotator. Our alpha will go to our alpha. Our start rotate goes into A. And we're dragging our start rotation again. We break the rotator. This has a little bit more room. We can drag up here and make the rotator. It's always best to do that rather than split the pin. It seems to be a little bit more reliable. The Y and the Z, we're going to connect to here. And we're going to hard code this because why not? Sometimes there's no need to put variables in. We'll put that to 180. So in other words, we're going to rotate the bottle upside down. Okay. Give us just a little bit of breathing space, neaten things up a little bit. We've got stuff to come off the finished. So from the finish, we're going to drag off direction. We're going to do a switch. We can connect that to the finish like that. Depending on which direction we're doing, we're going to be doing different things. Okay. So let's do the forward one first. So we're going to right click, set actual location. And we're going to set that to the relative location. Yeah, like so. Okay, now we need to go down here, make another timeline. So right click, add timeline, and it's the one at the bottom. And we're going to call this one PL underscore shake. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the bottle upside down and give it a couple of shakes like you would if you're shaking your ketchup on your plate. So we're going to try to mimic that just to make it a little bit more interesting in the gameplay. If you didn't want to do that, you can leave the shake and just put everything on the first timeline. I'll leave it up to you. So we're going to now get in our timeline shake. So, and we're going to say play from start. We do the finished one, or the backward one now. So we're going to get our player character. We're going to say that is pouring message. Connect that up to there, and to make sure that that is not checked, going to get our packs quantity. We can then negate it, so minus minus the decrement of 1. We use 1 lot of ketchup out of the bottle. We're going to pick our item. It's on your base. Going to get the kitchen manager. And say, says complete message, like so. Okay, that's that timeline done. We'll now move ahead and do our shape timeline. Now you can be as fancy with this as you like, but this is what I've done to make it work for me. Very short timeline, so 0.6 of a second. We're going to add an alpha track. And we're going to add, we're going to call it alpha, sorry. We're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So click 5 times. Let's do one at a time. The first one is going to be 0, 0. And the reason I say one at a time is because if we're doing points like we're going to be doing here, let's make sure we expand everything to the mistake. Never mind. Okay, so if we're doing it multiple points that go up and down, sometimes they cross and it gets a bit unruly. So we're going to add a second point, shift click, and this second point is 0.25 time. It's right over there. And it is a value of 1.5. Okay. It does that if you click your little things out, bring it to view. Right click and drag so we can add another point. So shift click to add another point. This point is going to be, I need to keep reference in mind because I can't remember what I did. 0.3, and the value is negative 0.5. Go down there, so you might have to do that to get your points back again. Add another point. Long buttons. And this point is 0.55. And do your thing. And the value is 1.5. And then we're going to add final point. And that's going to be 0.6 and 0. Okay, so let's do this, try and get it all in. I don't know why it's not showing it all, but you can see what happens. It doesn't look right to me. What have I done wrong? .6 time balancing. Let's see, it doesn't look right to me. Let me just have a quick check. So first point is 0, 0. Correct. Second one is 0.25. Oh, and 1.5 value. Yes, correct. Like that. Oh, that looks better actually now. On here. Third point. 0.3, 0.3. And negative 0.5. Yeah. Fourth point. 0.55 and 1.5 and then 1.5, 0.6 and 0. Okay, that's correct. So compile that, save that, and go ahead and close that. Back into our event graph. Now this time we're going to get update. We're going to say set actual location, like so. We're going to lerp again. Lerp vector. Output to alpha. Our relative location should be start location really, but that's good enough. Is this. Now we've got to do a little bit of strange math to get it to work properly. So first of all, we are going to come out of here. We're going to say multiply by 2. Then we're going to multiply again minus 1. And then we're going to add. And this will go into our Z. So what we need to do is give it a bit more space. Make a vector. The plus goes into the Z. We're going to here get actual location. We're going to split this thing and use X and the Y from there. Yeah, that should work. We need to add a scene component. So we go ahead and add a scene component. As long as it's in that line, that's fine. And we're going to call that start point. Okay. Not sure whether we got this function. I'm just going to check. So on finished, we're going to say activate article. Okay. Okay. We do have it. Activate particles. And just notice that I had my caps lock on, so I'm going to rename that to start point. I've caught my thing. So we're going to make sure this is checked. If we go and double click that, we actually don't have anything as such on there, which is the same on there, so that's fine. So we have to set that in our separate ones. So back to our B condiments. So we're going to say, okay, so we need to make in our, yeah, we need to do in our bulk item. So go to our BPP bulk item. We're going to add a function. We're going to call it born retard. And this has two inputs. But we'll set those in a minute. Now we can put them in now. So the first one is called detail material. Material. Like so, and this is of type material interface. And however, it's the same material interface type. The second input is going to be of trace start. This is going to be of type scene component, like so. So from our scene component, we are trace start. We're going to get world location. We're going to also get our up vector, like so. We're going to drag out of here and we're going to add. We're going to drag out of here. We're going to multiply. Add the result of that to that. We're going to change this pin to a float and we're going to multiply that by 100. So 100 units down in this case. Or 100 units from the start point. Then we are going to, from here, we're going to say get line trace, not multi, just a single one, line trace by 10, top in here. Okay, this one needs to start, and this one needs to end. Channel is visibility, ignore self, everything else is fine. Leave that as default. So we're going to drag out of our out hit. We're going to break it. Take our hit result. I'm going to open this one up. This is a very long thing. Look for your hit actor. Let's say does implement interface. And the interface we're going to choose is the BPI ingredients. There. We're going to do a branch. I'm leaving that expanded for a while because we need it to access another pin shortly. Connect that to advanced. Move it up because it's all going to go up very shortly anyway. We're going to drag off the true and we're going to say spawn and decal at location. Okay, make sure you choose the at location. And the location is going to be the location from here. Decal size, I've done as 10. 10. And rotation, I did as minus 90, is that by default. Lifespan, leave it at 0, 0. Drag off of here to get their decal material. Make sure you choose the decal here when it comes off the function, okay, which is this one. Then we are going to drag off of here and say, is it valid? So we know whether we have actually successfully added decal. We need to go to our BPI ingredients and we need to add a new call in there. So and this one is, I've got it. So we're going to say that decal reference, all that, and here we need an input. We can call it decal, and we're going to call, and it's of type decal component. Let's compile that, close that, we don't need that. Back to our bulk item. We're going to say that decal ref, get the message. Target is all the way back here, is going to be our hit actor. Target, we can now collapse it, we don't need that anymore. And so we won't notice to neaten things up a little bit. So, from the not valid, we need to return. And that's an output of spawn success. And that's a boolean, and we do not check that. Copy and paste that on here. We check that. Decal comes from here, so we won't know to that decal, like so. That is That function done. Compile and save that. Back to our BPP condiments. After we've done activate that, we can now call our spawn decal. Like so. Make sure it is one that comes from BPP bulk item. Trace start is our Niagara start point. Why is it a 0 on that? Ah. Shouldn't have a 0 on that. Rename it. Okay. I should probably put it on the bulk item in the other one, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to use. Actually, let's cut that. We're going to add it to the BPP bulk item. Like so, compile that. And we're going to use that. Okay. We're going to set the condiment to be our M store decal ketchup instance. We do a branch from here. Copy and paste this one. Two. And off our particle system. Then we're going to get our TL tilt. We're going to say reverse and end like so. So that should be fine on that. Because we've got our stage complete here. So we've done that bulk item. The one that I'm a little concerned about is now. So we go to our blueprints. Where did I put it? Ingredients, bulk items. BPP bulk ketchup. Open it up in my folder. Okay, let's look in the event graph. So in the event graph, we should have get activate. Oh, we need to override it. Activate particles, we need to override that. Sorry, my apologies. It's been a while. Now, what we need also to add in here, we need to click on our Niagara start point. We need to add a Niagara system. So we're going to drag in a Niagara. We're going to say activate. Like so. And copy that again. And uncheck it. Make sure you connect the target. That's that bit. Oh, sorry, not activate. My apologies. Drag off here and deactivate. Okay, so in our Niagara system, we're going to set it as NS underscore condiments, like so. You're going to set a uniform sprite size to 2. And we're going to set our liquid color to a nice ketchup looking red, darker. Okay, like so. We also need to make sure that this is not auto activated. You see at the moment it's already down. We don't want that. Okay. And also we want to go up. Just make sure your Niagara is clicked. We want to set this into the correct place. So first of all, we're going to scale it down. So 0.1. Your X, Y, and Z. Makes it a bit thinner. And I'm going to copy the location in here. Oh, sorry. Copy this. Move that out of the way. But you know, go start position. Paste that. So it's up there. Rotation is fine. I'm going to leave the auto activate on just for a minute. And do a little bit of adjustment on the Niagara. So you can pause it and get these numbers, but basically you want to set it up just a little bit offset from the nozzle. Just so it looks good when it's done. Make sure your auto activate is off. On that. And I believe that's all you need to do in here. So let's go back to our condiments. Find our test one. We're going to click test. One thing we do have to do, because we can't really do under the same one, we go to our bulk item spawn decal for testing purposes only. We bypass this, okay? Let's bypass that for now. Both are going to spawn. So then we make sure we have one in the world. We're going to go test it. Here. Oh, I think we need to give that. So we need to go into our prep station, I believe. Just double check that. We've got to set that point for that. yes, we need to set that. So go into our prep table. Should we highlight it? Here we go. Prep table, please. Edit the prep table. We got, so on our pivot, yes, on our, no, yes, on our pivot, we're going to add another scene component. I'm going to call this condiment position. Okay. Now I set this condiment position. I will copy and paste it. Do that. Everything else is 111. So we look in the view table, it's up there, up in the air, above the board. So make sure it is above the board because something like that. Okay. Now in the interface, we should have you need to go to your BPP appliances here, go to the interface here, and the ingredients. I'm going to set that there. So hang on a minute. Give me a second to work this one out. What did I do to that? Have a look. Yes, so in through our ingredients interface, the catch item we need to open up here in the actual table itself. A little bit to do in this box here. So in here, from the item on hand, we don't have that, I don't believe. Let's just check. Item. No. So we make that available, I believe. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Is it an inherited variable? No, it's not. Okay, so we just promote this to a variable, like so. Then we get it again. here. We get is empty. Good branch. Obviously, there's no point continuing. You've got an empty container. And if it's empty, we're going to say check comment. This pack is empty, throw it in the bin. We're going to in hand, and we're going to say give bulk data asset message in pulse. We can drag out here and get ingredients, type, ingredient in pack, that one there. Right, that's a variable. Like so. Not quite sure I did that, but we do. Get our item in hand. We drop the item. Want the message. We want it to be from BPI interact, not BPI player. So if you don't see it there, let's turn off context help. That one to make sure it's a BPI interact only one. The BPI player one won't work at this point. It's a bit poor on my side for naming two similar ones. So we're going to say get player character. So we can say set is pouring message. We're going to click yes. And then we're going to say a new function. So a new custom event. We've already got it. Just double check. No. So custom event. Move to spawn. Oh. Okay, no inputs needed. We grab our item in hand again. Get our actual location. Like so. Convert that to a variable. With start lock. Okay. Like so. We're going to add another timeline. We're going to call this move to spawn point. Going to hold down our control and move it to play from start. Open that up. We're going to add a track of half a second. Alpha, call it alpha, float track, 2.00 and 0.5 and 1. So, okay, for that, close that, go back to our event graph. We're going to get our item in hand again. We're going to say their actual location. So we're going to lurk it. But this stuff is, you know, we've done many times before. It's just the math behind it that you might know. So start location goes in A. We're dragging our condiment spawn or condiment position here. We're going to get its world location. And we're going to add that to that. So, okay, make sure you put that to the update. This won't work. And save as we're going along. Yes, it's on save, so make sure we save everything. On finish, we can say cat actor component. Item in hand is the target. Spawn position is the parent. There's no socket name, but we're going to say snap to target. Set for rotation. Rotation we're going to keep what? Okay. Oh, I do apologise for that. That big bang there. I live in the middle of rice fields and they use little firework type things to scare away the birds just after they've seeded. Excuse me, just after they seeded the fields. Do apologise for that. Okay, sorry about that. Choking there for a second. Unfortunately, I didn't die, so you've got to put up with a bit longer. So, let's get our item in hand. We're going to say set mesh physics. We want the message. Again, we don't see it there. So click here and non-context. Okay. The other ones should work, but sometimes they don't for some bizarre reasons. So and then we're going to get our item in hand again. And we're going to say start and contents message. That's on BPI bulk item. Using the message, so I don't believe we've overridden it. Let me just check. No. Oh, but it will be on item maybe. Yes. So now bulk item back in our event graph. Oh no, we need to keep that going. lose that. We've already got our starter contents, so we're already doing that. Okay, so that should be working. And I think I'm just looking because these are a little bit different, but I've done some changes, but I'm not sure. I think I did them recently for this one. So let's have a quick test, see if it works. We've got our bottle of condiments there, our ketchup bottle there. So let's play it. If it doesn't work, I'll have to work out why. So we're going to pick it up. We did set our test. Click on our left mouse button. It's empty, throw in the bin. Okay, so why is my bottle empty? Double check. Condiments, did I put anything in the info? No, I didn't. Bulk item. So we know bulk item. So our here. Now I'm going to do something up here. Okay, we are setting that. So maybe I did not add it. There we go. I didn't add it in here. So we're going to say 10 in there. Now, hopefully it should work. We'll at least get through the first part. Going to pick up our bowl. Left click. Why are you only doing that? Do that. Oh. Okay, here's I've got a bit of a problem here. Sort of working, but it's not. Yeah, spawning. It's going a bit crazy, so let me find out what's going on here. I'll be right back. Okay, so there's a couple of small errors I forgot. At the end of your event attach item, we made the move to spawn, but we never called it. So make sure we call that here. Drag off and say move to spawn. That was problem number 1. The other problem, 2 more problems actually. We go into our bottle of ketchup and we override the spawn decal. So you look down here and override it. I won't find it on here because I'm already overriding it. So you override spawn decal and you put in the decal there and you drag in your Niagara start point from there. I need to tidy up and try and get it to work better. If I get a modification, I will come to you. That's the next one. And I believe the last one was in bulk item. We do have stop ad and start ads. So but this is sort of causing a problem with our port, with our timeline. It's trying to activate that. It wasn't allowing it to tilt properly. So you need to override it. And the easiest way to override that is now condiments here. You find your event start. It's probably in your bulk items list here. Just double click it and leave it empty. That overrides it because we're not calling the parent. And now you should see now if I play, you can pick up a big ketchup, press my left click, it moves it into position, turns it upside down, gives it a couple of big shakes and puts our condiment on. Once you're happy that it's working, then we go ahead and add it to our burger. And I'm going to leave the video here for now because it's over an hour. A bit of a long one. The next one I will go and show you what alterations we need to do to add it to your burger, and we'll go ahead and do that. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. Please don't forget to like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you don't like, click don't like. It's all interaction. Please be civil in the comments. If you really like my work, consider joining my Patreon or buying me a coffee. All it helps to keep things going here. See you in the next one. Bye.